Welcome to TradeTheNBI.com. This is John's report. It's for the 22nd, my anniversary. Doing this report before heading out to Venice, but Mark is doing nothing. We've got continual degrading of the checkout indicator. We had a little bit of a DOC spread start here, but the reality is we're just treading water at this particular point. We should start to get a little bit more bearish strength here as we start to fade a little further. If the shakeup is negative, then I definitely think that we have opportunity to dip. Yeah, you still see those lines in there working with the shakeout reading. Created a new shakeout so that I can make adjustments without it affecting regular charts that we normally would look at. You can see here deep move on the NQ of the steel below the negative 13. Now this is going to be interesting because if the cyan moves back above the red with this deep a move into the negative 13 zone with the steel, that would actually present a little bit of a bearish, but you can see with the red and magenta color still well over the warning line at 15 here, still fairly healthy at this particular point, and the Dow was the weaker of all of the markets, and reflecting it, we're likely to see the Dow retrace the dip below the red line here, right here at the lows of 18,280 range. So that'll be the first one to go, and then the other markets would more likely than not catch up to it. You'll probably see those what would appear to be a bigger reaction from like the NQ, just because it's so much further ahead than either the ES or the Dow. And oil. So I think I went too far. Let's get the oil back up there. There's the oil. So put in the magenta, continue to rise, still looking strong with that cyan under the red, and straight uphill climb. Getting positive extremes now, though. It's likely to top out pretty much up at the peak here, 1170 range. Nothing to worry about. Gold flat. In fact, the DOC spread pretty strong with the steel closing below there. It's going to create just more balancing going across. We're really not getting any significant movement unless we get some indication that there's a rocky road as far as the economy or anything like that. And I think some of it's just funds taking back and forth. Nothing real special. I mean, we had the big push at the beginning of the month where fund money came in. It's going to happen again at the start of September. We'll see the exact same things. Nothing in bonds. I know a lot of people have shifted out of stock funds into bond funds, but it's really not going to go anywhere for them. And the euro, we're seeing the strong rise of the cyan here coming off of what was a huge up spike. We've got a positive extreme that will take us all the way back to 111.7. So right in the 112 range, but capped out right at that 138. Nice for Fibonacci. We actually went past it and came back. It's just getting back up to the top end of the range right in here is where it's had difficulties. It's had little spurts going back and forth, but nothing beyond that. And if we look at our case chart, it's absolutely nothing going on with that. Had a little bit of dip, nice little MBI that popped in there, but nothing happened until we closed back above the long algo. Carried forward, we can see here, this is the 5K tick chart. Now this has an adjusted shakeout that puts the lines going in here, and it counts from the last time there was a plus 15 move and all the other variables that go into suggesting it. Now this has been a short that's going on from back over here. A lot of ups and downs in between. We've even had several signals take place in between it. It's just one of those things where when you have a broad, well, and this is only an 8-point spread from 278. This is the entry right here. Had a 270 target with a 286 stop. We've been below the line, and at this particular point, we had a 5-point gain. That would be well before the break-even point, because we saw as we came down in here some nice opportunities where we went above the plus 7.5. I detailed this very well during the day, where that's your short signal when it first pops above right there, particularly when the steel is coming from underneath, and then as soon as the steel transfers, that's your buy signal. So you cover from the first short, buy signal there, and then likewise same situation happens when right here, short signal, and then when the steel crosses above, was a turnaround point, except for the fact the shakeout was still below the histogram, both the steel and the red, and you need it to be on the rise like it was back over on this one over here. Subtle difference, but it makes a huge point, because then we ended up with another round going down where we ended up doing the exact same thing, and then it executed the turn on the MBI right there. I had a little bit of a downdraft from it, but turned around pretty solidly and skyrocketed up from there. And then we got a little overbought, real quick down move wasn't done. So now we're getting to a point where we may see an actual plateau fading. We're starting to see the beginnings of the Azure rising. That would be a little more bullish going into the weekend there. So all in all, pretty lackluster. Not a whole lot to talk about, but that's okay. Some of these developments will start. I'm putting them in the final form, so hopefully I'll give at least a release, even if it's before everything's completed, just to give you an idea of what some of the looks will be and how it will change some of the configurations. But in general, it's going to be fun. I think it's very exciting, so we'll be able to start seeing these markings at the various turn points so that you'll be able to get targets, and then it'll start trading it like it's an actual ongoing market configuration, which that will be neat, because then I'll just be doing it from the paint bar. And whether you look at the indicators for how it develops, that's just going to be a personal choice on whether you want to do that, but the colors will pretty much dictate everything. As always, though, look for me on the Skype chat. Probably won't be until Tuesday, because I will be all the way out of the local area. I'll be at the canals enjoying a nice anniversary. Hope everyone has a good start to the week, and we'll be back for Tuesday. So trade well. We'll talk to you later.